Over the last few decades, most humans have stopped living with the fear that they might die at an early age from an infectious disease. Great researchers like Louis Pasteur have laid the scientific foundations and created the medicines which have made this possible. Today, bird flu, SARS, AIDS, dengue fever, and many other infectious threats are deadly reminders that our current arsenal of preventive and curative medicines is sadly far from enough. Fighting diseases is crucial, not only to save lives, but also to ensure that a global public health can thrive in a stable economy.
The relationships between humans and pathogens have profoundly changed throughout history. In prehistoric times, our ancestors changed habitat and as a consequence came into contact with mosquitoes and animals which carried infectious agents. In classical times, large Eurasian civilization movements occurred, and with them, again, migrated infectious diseases. After 1500, colonization by Europeans brought Old World diseases like smallpox and measles to the New World. Today, global trade, urbanization, population growth, and climate changes all influence the emergence of old and new pathogens. And if that wasn't enough, the massive worldwide air traffic allows lethal viruses like SARS or flu to travel around the world within days.
All parameters necessary for a major outbreak are gathered here. This puts South Asia right into the eye of the storm. In contemplating these issues of time and space, we recognize that a major historical turning point is happening right here, right now.
The last few decades have showed us that infectious disease remains a potent threat facing mankind. On the one hand, we have old infections such as tuberculosis and dengue, which have re-emerged to pose major problems across the world. On the other hand, we have completely new diseases that have crossed species, predominantly from animals to humans, and posing us quite unexpected challenges to which we have to respond very quickly.
The 1918 Spanish flu cost 50 million lives. This was probably more than all the people who died in combat in all the major wars of the 20th century. Economically, SARS was devastating. In 3 months, the global economy lost $30 billion in production, mostly in Asia. So SARS was not merely destructive of human life, it was economically and financially devastating.
Hong Kong has, in my view, taken the public health issue very seriously. Nevertheless, many business people, often here with their families, will be expecting results from Hong Kong's efforts in the field of medical research and development.
Vaccines are ideal to prevent people from becoming infected, but in most cases, they cannot cure you from an infection. Moreover, vaccines are not available for many diseases like dengue fever, hepatitis C, and AIDS. Drugs are an alternative solution. They can be used for preventing or reducing the severity of an infection. That's why stockpiling of drugs is one of the solutions to prevent a viral outbreak. However, the virus may mutate and become resistant to the drug during a pandemic. That's why we need to do more research in finding new vaccines and new drugs.
The Faculty of Medicine at the University of Hong Kong is the longest established tertiary education faculty in the Special Administrative Region. It is at the forefront of medical research on human and animal flu and has made tremendous contributions to public health, including the discovery of the SARS coronavirus. The HKU-Pasteur's records are outstanding. The first vaccination of a human being against rabies, the creation of numerous vaccines including the basic but indispensable BCG, the identification of the AIDS virus in 1983, which paved the way for the development of AIDS therapy, and no less than 8 Nobel laureates.
Well, Hong Kong in fact has a special relationship with the Pasteur Institute in Paris. It was in 1894, about a year before Pasteur himself died, that one of his bright young disciples, Alexander Yersin, who was just over 30 at the time, was given the mission to come to Hong Kong to study the plague. Yersin arrived on the 15th of June, and within 5 days, on the 20th, he had isolated the bacillus of the plague. Now, it's rather touching to think that he made this discovery from a straw hut, working with virtually no scientific equipment, and made this discovery for which the world's ever since been grateful.
At the Hong Kong University Pasteur Research Center, our project focuses on infectious diseases that pose a serious threat to public health here in Southeast Asia, namely HIV/AIDS, dengue, SARS, and avian flu.
A virus is like a thief with a master key. Our research aims at understanding how the virus gets into the cell, how it operates the key, and how we can prevent it from getting through the door. To tackle these questions, we have an amazing interdisciplinary team of molecular and cell biologists, virologists, and chemists.
In response to the SARS outbreak, we have successfully developed a SARS vaccine candidate which protects animals against the infection. But you see, there is quite a few hurdles to overcome before a finalized vaccine can be achieved. Firstly, it should protect against all the strains of the virus. It should also work safely on humans, be economical, and provide long-lasting protective immunity. Answering all these parameters is an enormous task.
We have assembled a multidisciplinary team, and that makes the discovery process very creative. Through the understanding of how a virus operates inside the cells it infects, we can define crucial events that ultimately, it is our hope, will help the identification of new antiviral therapies.
In partnership with the Shanghai Institute of Materia Medica, we are screening pure compound in a traditional Chinese medicine library.
Our collaboration with the Faculty of Medicine is very constructive and highly motivating. Our respective efforts are exceptionally open and complementary.
Viruses know no borders. That's why we have established collaborations with international network of Pasteur Institutes. Thanks to their action worldwide, we have access to prime hand microbial samples, which is of utmost importance when detecting and counterfighting disease outbreaks like dengue fever and avian flu.
The international network of Pasteur Institutes has 29 institutes around the world. All of them are working closely with the World Health Organization. When in Cambodia we faced the first human case of avian influenza, we immediately started a collaboration with the Pasteur Research Center in Hong Kong in order to study this very dangerous and deadly H5N1 virus.
Science is often technology-driven. When our experiments need the next level of sophistication, our partnerships are key. We have access to state-of-the-art tools through the Headquarter Institute in Paris, including the most advanced video microscopy technology. We have multiple ongoing collaborations with China, Japan, Europe, and the National Institute of Health in the USA. These collaborations further increase our capacity to react quickly and efficiently in times of crisis.
Research and teaching go hand in hand. Of course, virus research is our core activity, but we're also perpetuating Louis Pasteur's commitment towards education. We ran an annual virology course that enables outstanding students selected from all over Asia to interact with and learn from the world's top virologists.
Since this course covers a very wide area of respiratory viruses, coronavirus, epidemiology, vaccine development, antiviral, and each topic we actually study in very deep, very detailed.
Our educational program nurtures the future generation of scientists that will manage the emerging diseases of tomorrow.
There's a need to support the fight against the emerging infectious diseases. Hong Kong University Pasteur Research Center is in a leading position to meet this challenge. In order to produce solutions better and faster, we need high-tech equipment sponsorship. We need special project research funds like antivirals from traditional Chinese medicine. We need scholarships. We need fellowship and education support. And then we need the creation of an endowment fund so that we can plan in the long term.
I think it's inevitable that a major pandemic is going to occur within the next few decades in front of us. It's really a question of when such a pandemic will occur. It's not a question of if such a pandemic will occur.
Medicines for tomorrow's infectious diseases lie in the hands of researchers today, but their ability to conduct their mission lie in your generous hands. We hope you can join HKU-Pasteur Research Center in its fight, a visionary fight.